of all, congratulations on qualifying for the next round and of the second division league, and mostly topping the group. That was pretty incredible.
Thank you.
So, but we won the last match pretty unconventionally in Jabalpur. We got handed a 3-0 victory as a walkover. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, those are the rules. You know, it's not like we showed up in Jabalpur on free tickets and free hotel rooms. We paid, we showed up on time for kickoff, and we were awarded the points. So I'm not particularly feeling like we don't deserve it, but I did mention we wanted to play the game. I met the players, I met the coach. I tried to convince them, but you know, there was almost a physical risk. They had players who had literally been eating one meal a day, many not even getting medical attention. They had trained one time in the lead up to our game. You know, it's almost a risk to put players out there. I understand in the last match they played, they had players cramping throughout the game. They had one player who had contracted chickenpox. So, you know, I'll tell you, being in Indian football isn't easy, but that doesn't mean that because you're struggling financially that you don't feed your players, you don't get them, you know, prearranged travel properly. You know, I understand kids they're going with no reservation in trains, and out of 24 people, only 10 had seats, and some of the kids are sleeping next to the bathroom in a train. So you got to imagine where a person is at that point mentally as well. And when you're mentally fatigued, you know, injuries happen too. So I understood their situation. I would have loved to play the game. The atmosphere was beautiful there. We wanted to play the game. It didn't happen, but I also think I'm fair by saying we deserve to win the group. You know, we played 2 games with 10 men, and we dominated even with 10 men. We've given up 1 goal, which wasn't a particularly great goal, down at Ozone. And I don't think any team in the group disagrees with our victory. So now we have to move on though. It's over.
We also were the only team that went unbeaten throughout the 6 matches. So that was a very good thing to achieve. And until you just mentioned, until Ozone, we didn't even concede a goal. But like you said, the team wanted to play against Pride Sports, and so was it like a mixed emotion for them that, you know, we've qualified top the group, but then they didn't play the match? Like, I'm sure the team was ready to play.
Of course. We don't have enough games to begin with. So if you're making an investment in Indian football and you're being awarded walkovers or games are getting canceled, it's not a good thing, you know. So yeah, we wanted to play, but now that's all over. We're into the second round. We have our state league now. We have to focus on other things.
Yeah, so talking about the state league, it starts today, you play Abbas Union. So jumping right from the I-League, second division, to the Rahim League, so does the preparations or anything differ? Because it's a very different way, like different teams, different kind of teams, and does anything differ?
Here's the thing. For all these teams, what we learned last year is playing against us is very meaningful. And it should be, because it's their chance to play against a team that's playing at a higher level. So here's the challenge for any player, is to get yourself up and ready to play at your best, even though the competition platform isn't the same. And that's what separates a great player from an average player, because anybody can motivate themselves to play in a real meaningful game or a knockout game on a huge platform. When the competition level slightly decreases or the platform is not as large, now are you still ready to prepare and deliver your best performance? So that's a challenge, and we're ready.
So do you think the state league is a good opportunity for the young players who don't usually start in the I-League game, for them to start and show what they can do, show their talent, and show how the preparation they've been undergoing throughout the season?
Well, we didn't win the state league last year, so I want to be fair to all the teams. They're very good and they're competitive, so we're not taking anything for granted. But yes, if we're doing well in games, of course. I've always played young players. I still have, I think, the youngest team in the second division, and we will keep playing young players.
Okay, and what are your thoughts going into the second round now, that's starting in April? Will the preparations kind of increase, and will the performance levels and, you know, effort we put in increase? Listen, because it's going to be harder then?
Yeah, the teams are better in the second round for a reason. They've finished in their top 2 of their groups, and arguably, you know, Naroka and Southern Samity have come out of the hardest group. So the competition gets better, and we have to improve. We have to improve every day. We can't just be happy with the level we were at in the first round. We have to go here now to get results.
So what do you take from our group? We had King, Clay, Ozone and Pride Sports. You already mentioned about Pride Sports, but what do you take away from the group, from the other teams of the group?
Well, you know, we did this last year, okay? And we finished last, and we were, if I'm fair to all the teams last year, the teams were better in our group, and we were a brand new team, young team, hardest travel schedule going to the Northeast, and we finished dead last, but we took 4 points, and we lost to Mullenden 2-1 twice, back to back, with a far less experienced team, less experienced coach and staff. So the first thing is, you know, with respect to an Ozone, who just kind of started at this level, it's very difficult. I don't think anybody down there should be upset with what happened down there, that they didn't qualify, because everyone, I think, looks at Bangalore FC as the model. They started a team, and the first year they won it. They're 2 minutes away from winning it 2 in a row. They'd be 3 in a row. And I know some Mohun Bagan fans might not like me saying this, but Robin Singh got clobbered in the box in that final. I think it was a penalty, on a red card. So it could have been 3 in a row. What they've done is so unique. I doubt it's going to happen for decades at a minimum again. And it just shows how difficult it is, because starting a football club and preparing for competitions, there's so much that goes into on and off the pitch. You have an organization, you have different age groups, you have staff. It's like starting a company. And if you're expecting results right away, or you want results right away, that's fine. But there's a lot of factors that aren't in your control. And we're not in a perfect system here. Okay, we have less games, we have imperfect calendars and information. The market is not perfect in terms of player selection and player availability. There's imbalance. So it's very difficult. So one takeaway from me is, just because you start a team and you want to win and you may invest quite a bit, don't think that you're wrong for what you tried. I think if Ozone comes back next year, they're going to be excellent, because they would have been like us and had a year of experience now. Can't grade. Can't take anything for granted. They're a team that's been in the second division for many years and hasn't had great results, but now they've had the experience. It looks like they've invested a little more. They've done better, and I'd like to tip my cap to them for nobody expecting them to come through, and they did. Yeah. And Pride, all I can say is, Indian football is not easy to invest in as an owner. I see it. We're not perfect here either. There's many more things we want to do. But if you're going to go ahead and sign players and sign a coach, at least treat them with respect and feed them right. Put them in good places to stay. Pay their salaries on time. These are the basic minimums. Once you've made the decision to support pro football, do things correctly. He could have decided to drop out after the year, but I just feel like it's not good for our league even that someone's out there doing this. And I really, my heart goes out to Pride, and I'll tell you something. If we had already won the group and qualified, I would have given the points to them, because in my book, they're all winners for standing up to this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay?
All right. Okay, well, good luck for the Rahim League starting today and the second division.